Say goodbye to sitting at the back of class or in the back of meetings, melting into the background, being afraid to speak up and let your voice be heard. No longer will you be afraid to raise your hand up and add to the conversation, especially when you know you have great ideas to add to the discussion. This video is a wake-up call. Let's get your confidence together, sis. Let's get our confidence together, sis. In this video, I'll be talking about ways that we can effectively and confidently show up in new areas of our life that we have yet to conquer. But first, let's hop into a story time. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, I'm a STEM girly and I studied engineering at a small PWI in the Midwest. So you can take a wild guess and guess the ethnicity makeup of my classes. 50% white and male. But don't worry, it wasn't as bad as it sounds, I promise. Anyways, I realized something very important my freshman year of college. Whenever we were in classes, there were always this group of guys who would shoot their hand up every single time a question was asked without a doubt. And even though they had a 50-50 chance of answering correctly, they always attempted it and they never hesitated to try. Me, on the other hand, I was not attempting to answer unless I knew I was at least 98% going to be correct before even trying. Over the course of the semester, I'm sure they got more out of the class. Even if they didn't, I knew for a fact that they answered more questions than I did correctly. And it was not necessarily because of smarts or they were more analytical than I was. It was just that they were banking on the 50-50 of them getting the answer correctly. They were banking on 50% while I was just banking on a mere 2%. What does that have to do with anything? It's this. My classmates, tech bros, finance bros, and Beyonce all have this one trait in common. Can you guess it? Yeah, it's audacity. They have audacity and had the audacity to try even though they knew there's a 50-50 chance of them getting it wrong. Audacity in simple terms is literally just the willingness of someone to take bold risks. So taking a bold risk is them trying to answer a question in front of a class of young adults even though they know they had a chance of getting it wrong. Having audacity is doing things even though you know you have a high chance of failing, and that's what they did. And believe it or not, that's something that being in that class with those guys taught me to have, and something that I implemented for the rest of my college career, most definitely, and dare I say, my life. So audacity, how does it fit in here? Because I think we need to have audacity, especially as women, if we are going to show up confidently in new territories that we feel we don't belong or we haven't yet gotten the hang of or conquered yet. It is in these instances where you enter new territories and are tasked with things you haven't done, seen, dreamed of before that you need to show up confidently and consistently for yourself. And I'm going to be sharing 3 tips on how I was able to do so in my experience. 1, whenever you enter a new space, you have to recognize that fear you feel is good. It's not an indication of you not being able to withstand whatever pressures and what's going to be required of you. Having fear literally just means you care. So let's get that out of the way first. Secondly, another thing I like to remind myself is of my past successes and actions that I have taken and examples that I have had in new spaces where I didn't know what was happening, came in, learned on the job or learned on the fly and completely bodied it, period. There's no amount or any form of affirmations that you can take to will yourself into feeling confident, in my opinion. You can say, I am confident, but it's the act of doing that and being that really makes the difference. So I like to remind myself of my past wins and my past actions of me being confident, or me being a good engineer, me being great at XYZ talent that I need to have in this moment to be successful, because it's by tapping into those past successes that may or may not have similar parameters is where you realize that, oh yeah, I do have this, and you'll be able to navigate uncharted territory just like you did that last time. This is going to be my favorite part because I love dress up and I love fashion. Curate your environment, and honestly, fake it till you make it, if I'm being completely honest. Dress the part, look the part, be the part. A part of why I love dressing up and going to work is because it makes me feel good, and it makes me feel like I am in this role. I am Chelsea, the businesswoman, and I'm going to work to get stuff done, period. So by dressing the part and doing things that basically psych myself up to even put on that persona, to be completely honest, to be that tech bro that I know I am deep down on the inside, is what works for me. So find something, a routine, a ritual, if you will, that psychs you up in the morning or before you have to do that thing that you're nervous about or that is new for you that you haven't quite conquered yet, to basically get you in the zone of being who you want to be and deep down that you know you are. Another part of this is curating your environment for success as well. It's one thing to look the part, dress the part, be the part, but curating your environment either at work or at school or at your station is really important. I have my vision board on my phone. I have at my desk at work, I have different goals that I have that I'm working towards. So I'm reminded of them, and it's very work-ish and corporate like, if you will. So that's something that helps me. Do anything that you need to do on the outside. This is after you got your inside right with, reminding yourself of past challenges that you've overcome. Now this is taking action on the outside to curate your environment, to basically hype yourself up and doing what you need to do to tap into your inner Chester. And my inner Chester is a persona that I basically made in college that was like, I'm going to have the confidence and audacity of the person that I think has the most audacity and privilege around me, which was like, palm colored males around me. You catch my drift. So curating your environment and dressing the part has really, really helped me. So get your blazer, do your makeup with your wing, a little highlight, a little red lipstick, do your superwoman pose, anything that you need to do to get you in the zone. Because while these things are not the end all be all, I'll not discount the fact that they do help in getting you and your mind into the right place that it needs to be. And finally, my last tip is to focus on your strengths. A lot of the times when we enter new spaces, it's easy to feel insecure, I'm not gonna lie. And I feel like we're socialized to try to cover up or be hypercritical about our weaknesses, work on them wholeheartedly to try to make those weaknesses that we have a bit better. And sometimes you might be great. You might be able to transform a weakness into something that's a complete strength for you, and that's great. But other times you may only be able to get it to just like a mediocre level. On the flip side, my take is to just focus on your strengths. What strength do you have, or what out of the strengths that you have can you apply to this situation to add the sprinkle, the little cherry on top? We all have strengths. Dig deep, you'll find them, and once you do, lean into them to make this new territory, this new situation, as best as it possibly can be. So for example, if you are a product manager, right, and you're entering into a new role, your weakness by default is going to be the fact that you haven't worked with the teams before. You probably don't really know the product that you're working on really well because you've just started, or maybe some technical skills, whatever it is, that can be your weakness. So instead of trying to completely belittle yourself about not knowing that or focus wholeheartedly only. I'm not saying don't focus on them at all, but only focusing on your weaknesses, those weaknesses. Instead of doing that, you can leverage the strengths that you have. So maybe you're really good at influencing and bringing people together, or you're really good at talking and you're able to break down complex ideas into bite-sized nuggets that even the least technical person can understand that. Then use that to your advantage and see how you can use that to bring people together to get to the main goal that you know you need to achieve. So for example, for me, something I really want to focus on building out this year is speaking and storytelling. I know there are a plethora of other things that I have as weaknesses. We all do. No one is great at anything. But I was not giving enough limelight, enough focus on the things that I'm naturally good at. And I like to speak, and I love chat, so why not try to inject that into all the other areas of my life? So in doing so, I am building my strength and it boosts my confidence, because everyone loves doing things that they're good at. So do the thing that you're good at and apply it to the new territory that you're in. Trust me, this is a game changer, and I've applied it to my current job, my team, just things that I am currently doing that I wouldn't necessarily feel the confidence to do if I didn't, think about the strengths that I have and how I could apply them. So if you take nothing else from this video, take that and let me know how it's doing for you. So all in all, my fabulous friends, that is how you show up confidently in territories that you haven't quite conquered yet. I know it's easy to kind of want to sink down and lay low and try to lay low until you figure things out, but I'm challenging you with the task to implement these 3 tips and report back to me how you're doing with your confidence. It's hot girl summer, and let's go out and be the most confident and audacious version of ourselves that we possibly can. Would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, all of those lovely things. Until next time, with love from Chels. Bye.